The Galaxy S23 Ultra has finally been revealed along with some spec changes that we didn't expect to see. But first story of the day, we have got news from the Galaxy that the whole S23 series is going to be slightly delayed, and the reason is down to pricing confusion. It was initially reported that the Galaxy S23 would be released in late January or early February, but the Galaxy now tells us it's going to be mid to late Feb because they can't decide on a final price. Now hopefully this could mean that they are working hard on price reduction, but we are going to have to wait and see as we approach the official launch. Next up, we have got news from Galaxy Club that the S23 Ultra is going to have a 12 megapixel sensor for the selfie camera, and this is the same as the Galaxy S23 and S23 Plus. While many are reporting this as bad news though, it's really not. More megapixels means more detail, but it's also less light per pixel, so it doesn't necessarily result in better photos. 12 megapixels is still enough for 4K photos and videos from the selfie camera. We have seen many other phones perform brilliantly with a 12 megapixel sensor, and even the 108 megapixel primary camera on the predecessor bends down to 12 megapixels most of the time. Next up, we have got the first live reveal of the Galaxy S23 series, but it is in the form of dummy models. Dummy models generally come from CAD leaks by case manufacturers, though at this late stage they generally tend to be very accurate. The S23 Ultra model shows a phone that looks identical to the predecessor at first glance, but it does have some differences. The phone is slightly taller and wider, but it's also thinner. We have also got flatter sides and a bit more of an aggressive curve, and as we always expect, we will also be getting some thinner bezels. The S23 and S23 Plus also have more rounded corners than their predecessors, as well as being a little bit taller, but the biggest change is the removal of the rectangular camera module on the rear, and they have also got a design much more similar to the S23 Ultra's cameras. While the S23 series looks similar to the predecessors, the main change is going to be in hardware, and it's actually the biggest change we have seen for a very long time. Not only is the Galaxy S23 series completely doing away with their in-house Exynos chipset, and they are providing the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for all regions, but it's also a faster version of Qualcomm's chip.